Right, welcome back to the channel, guys. I hope you're good. This channel is now, I'm going to name it, it's the official home of real golf.
I don't think you have the facilities for that, big man.
And that's quite a big statement. But if you want real golf, this is the channel that you're going to want to watch and subscribe to this year. So we're going to do less challenges. So less, what can I make on a par 5 with a snap golf club that's left-handed, less extended intros, and no club reviews. The reason that people do club reviews on YouTube is because they do bring in the views, because people are searching for these clubs around this time, but I feel like they're all so repetitive. Today, I'm going to show you this new golf club, and I'm going to show you in 5 minutes. James, that's not long enough for a review, mate. Because the YouTube algorithm wants the video to at least be 8 minutes. Somewhere in the mix of 12 would be good. Yeah, but surely that would just be extending the video for no reason when it's very likely it's going to be similar to what it was last year anyway. James, we need at least 10 minutes. I guess I could do like a 5-minute B-roll intro. 5 minutes left and then we can do a roundup. So 5 minutes of real data. Real data. Yeah, that's it, mate. Get that real scientific data from a 4 handicap golfer that can't control their distances on a golf course. Cool, you got it. Right, before we get into these 3 things, guys, I just want to say I'm doing online lessons at the moment in lockdown. Now, it doesn't matter if you can't actually hit balls or if you haven't got a net. I'm actually finding this the best time to make changes to the golf swing, because what I can still do is a full analysis on your golf swing and give you some drills and feels to do at home, which is actually going to make quite a big difference to when you go out and tee it up next time you play. So head to jameswiltshiregolf.com, links in the bio, online lessons, and we get started. So let's get into number 1, and this is going to be a launch monitor. And if you do want a launch monitor, you can simply head to TrackMan or FlightScope and pick one up for a fee of... Nah, basically what pros are trying to do week to week with a launch monitor, and this may be misunderstood a bit, because I think most people think that they're getting a launch monitor behind themselves on the practice tee on the golf course. They're trying to see what their club numbers are, what the face numbers are. They're trying to do swing work. Pretty much all of these guys are using their flight scopes week to week on a practice tee on the golf course to work out exactly how far the ball's going. Now, these guys are playing week to week in different temperatures, different altitudes, and these actually have a massive impact on how far the ball's going due to air resistance. Air resistance, I think that's as scientific as I'm gonna go with it. But I said this would be stuff for free. You can actually work this out yourself. So what I'd recommend first, get one of those sessions where you go there and you get an average for each club when you hit it pretty well. Find out on the day exactly what the launch monitor is set to. So TrackMan usually is set to around 25 degrees at sea level. But from that, you can then work out on a given day, depending on what the temperature is, depending on what altitude you're playing at, exactly how far the ball's gonna go. When I was caddying for Steve in South Africa, he was constantly trying to work out whether it was 5% on, 10% on, due to altitude and temperature. Say you've got your numbers on a TrackMan and you hit a 7-iron 150, and that was set on 25 degrees at sea level. If you go out on a spring day when your next competition is, and it's like 6 degrees in the morning, that 7-iron is not gonna go 150. It's likely that you're gonna have to take 5 to 10% off of that. So that 7-iron that you hit 150, really that's turned into a 135 to 140 club. And not taking enough club is probably one of the biggest mistakes that amateurs make. It means they can't get it pin high and their dispersions are affected because of that. Knowledge. Right, number 2 is stats. Now obviously the best players in the world have their stats recorded week to week on the PGA Tour and the European Tour. But most mini tour pros and quite a lot of top amateurs actually get their own stats as well. Now there's loads of different apps, software that you can use to get your stats. If you do get your stats, list below what is your favorite one or the one that you actually use. I think the chosen one, especially now, is Decade. I think that's probably the most used one, especially for like collegiate golfers, mini tour pros and top level amateurs. It's definitely a bit more expensive than the rest, but the depth that you can go on that system is far above other apps and systems, and it's definitely the one that I'm going to be using this year. The reason that it's important to collect your stats, especially if you're not like at that top level, is because your perception of your game is not a reality. And also, if you use Decade, it gives you the PGA Tour averages from different distances that you can compare yourself to. So if you look at like dispersion distances from different distances, I think you'd be quite surprised what the average dispersion is from say like 150 yards, 175 yards. And you as like a mid handicap golfer, if you are, maybe you're low, maybe you're high.
Do you have to smoke to be a Rasta? No, man.
You trying to hit a green from 175 yards with bunkers tight at the front of the green because you feel like you should be able to do that is probably not helping your game at all. Brilliant. I have no idea where I was then. Let's try and finish strong. So if you know your stats, you know where your expectations should be, then you're gonna not be so stupid on the golf course and try and do stupid stuff.
Stupid is, stupid does, sir.
Right, number 3 is having a pre-round routine. Oi, Dave's late again. No, not today, mate. Oh yeah. So to get into the golf course at a exact time every time before, and having a clear structure of what you're gonna do. So hit balls for 30 minutes, chip and putt for 25, and then walk onto the tee. That allows you to, firstly, have no stress, which you're gonna carry to the first tee. And it's just something that's so easy to do that most people probably don't. I know there's probably a few people out there that are thinking like I'm not at that level. All I'm really doing is going for a social and to have a pint afterwards. But there has to be like a little bit of you that niggles away, that thinks, do you know what, it would probably be a bit more fun if I played a little better as well. So that's it. That's 3 things that are easy to implement in your game for absolutely free. Leave a comment, what is the thing that you think that you're gonna implement? 1, 2, or 3, maybe all of them, maybe none of them, maybe you just watched it because you got nothing else to do because we're in lockdown at the moment. I'm really close to possibly getting a launch monitor. Speaking of launch monitors, borrowing a launch monitor of somebody that I can actually use in the garden, set up like a studio. And that means that I'll be able to get back to hitting golf balls and bring in content that involves hitting golf balls, because as much as I say this is the home of real golf, the channel is going to be about playing golf this year and following me playing my professional tournaments as well. And I'm fully aware that I've then gone and made a video where I'm talking to a camera for 10 minutes, but at the moment there is no other option. I want to keep this going, so possibly having a launch monitor, that is going to change things massively over the next few weeks till we can get back to playing golf. So thanks for watching, guys. I hope you've enjoyed it. Bumble hasn't been in it.
Yeah, see you next time.
This is not Bumble, this is actually Dave.
You wanna subscribe? You wanna subscribe to James? Subscribe now. Subscribe to James. Nah.
It's alright, Bumble, don't worry. Don't want to stress you out.